What if I told you guys that this week coming up is a huge week for the Democrats as they're planning a protest and they're begging Chuck Schumer to keep the government closed down and to not cave to Trump because they're planning something wild, a wild big protest. Well, Scott Besson and Maria Bartiromo broke big news on Fox News. And we are on day number 13, going on 14, almost 2 weeks into the shutdown. And I got big news about what's actually happening to the shutdown. As Democrats are saying that this is a huge victory for them, that they're the ones that are not going to cave to Trump. But in reality, well, let's actually dive in. Take a listen to this wild confession here by Maria Bartiromo about Chuck Schumer's plan and how it just got leaked.
Sources are telling me that the whole reason that the Democrats are doing this is because they want to be there for next weekend's No King's March in Washington, where you're going to see these activists march in Washington this coming Saturday. One senator told me that the groups are threatening Minority Leader Schumer, telling him, you better do this and keep the government closed or we will make you irrelevant. And so do you believe that's what this is about? It's more theatrics than really any, marriage to these Obamacare subsidies?
Well, Maria, the American people are being held hostage by Chuck Schumer's poll numbers. Why did he go with a clean CR in the spring? What's changed is his poll numbers versus AOC have collapsed. And if in fact they are waiting for this No Kings protest, no kings means no paychecks. No paychecks and no government. And Maria, I think the dirty secret here for why this has dragged on for so long is the Democratic friends in the mainstream media have been downplaying this shutdown. And this is getting serious. It's starting to affect the real economy. It's starting to affect people's lives. And if this were the Republicans who were engineering the shutdown, and make no mistake that Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, and the House passed a clean CR. Leader Thune calls a vote every night, and 3 Democrats have crossed the aisle. John Fetterman, I believe, was on your show yesterday.
Yes, that's
and
right.
Senator Fetterman said, we got to reopen the government. So we just need a few more Democrats to get away from the.
Yeah. So wait a minute before I let him finish here. So you're telling me that the shutdown is theatrics? He's getting threatened by the super far left wing of his party. I'm guessing that's the AOCs and the Rashida Tlaibs and the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, to make sure that he does not cave, keep the government closed, because they have a huge protest. What is this protest about to be? Well, it's a march, aka protest. Apparently, millions of people are supposed to show up and against Trump. Now, how stupid would that look? Trump just achieved peace in the Middle East. These are going to be the same people. Look, they're already moving on. I want you guys to realize this. It doesn't seem this way. The people who were screaming free Palestine, they were protesting, they were going at it, are the same people that are doing the whole ICE protesting and all of this stuff. And now they're going to be the same people at the No Kings protest. But how stupid could you possibly look? Ladies and gentlemen, how can you possibly be this dumb, right? Chuck Schumer, you know this is not going to work, right? Trump just achieved peace in the Middle East. I got to put on my glasses for this, because this is how wild these people are, right? They are legitimately about to hit the streets and protest the guy who just achieved what they've been begging for, which is peace, which is the freeing of Palestine, this genocide, everything they've been saying. This right here, whatever side you fall on, achieves a huge W for all sides, legitimately. And yet they're holding the government hostage because of a protest and a march that's supposed to be a stamp against President Trump. And Chuck Schumer is failing so much that he cares about this part of his party. This is pretty crazy.
Radicalized left, but clearly that's the wing that's taken over the party, and they've been unable to stop President Trump in the courts, in the media. So now they are using a government shutdown to stop his initiatives. President Trump is doing peace deals, trade deals, and tax deals. And the mainstream media refuses to respond to how serious this situation is because they don't want to embarrass the Democrats. If this was a Republican shutdown, this would sound like it was the end of the world.
Literally, ladies and gentlemen, you need Democrats in order for the government not to be shut down. And so here we are. How is this working for you guys? Well, I got an update here from CNN. You guys got to check this out. This is pretty crazy. If many people are pointing this out, you got to check this out. The latest round of federal layoffs as a result of Chuck Schumer's shutdown has reportedly decimated an office within the Department of Education. Great work, Chuck. You are facilitating downsize of the Department of Education, a key Trump campaign promise. This is crazy, but here is the report.
Mass layoffs include the Departments of Commerce, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, Homeland Security, and the Treasury Department. Now, multiple sources at the Department of Education tell CNN the latest round of mass layoffs have decimated the office that handles special education programs serving millions of children, youth, and adults with disabilities nationwide. And a bipartisan policy center review says nearly 1.4 million other federal workers are either furloughed or working without pay.
Yikes. And that is because of these people literally not wanting to, again, using the word cave to them, to Republicans, but yet the people who are hurting the most are exactly the people that you claim to be wanting to protect. And again, Maria Bartiromo's report indicates that they're doing this because of the No King's March, that in order for them to be cool with you, in order for you to be the guy and your poll numbers to go up, you have to literally keep the government shut down. And again, to Scott Bessent's points, the Treasury Secretary, him saying how serious this is, a lot of people are downplaying this. Many people are going to lose their jobs. Now, is this a huge W? Because Trump's plan was this. Right, let's downsize the government. Why? Look, what's going on with all these federal workers? He wants to get rid of the Department of Education, anyways. Right? These are things that you want to shut down, anyways. These offices that exist and all these federal people that don't even show up to work. So that's already a huge W for Republicans who are anti-big government. But this is literally blowing back in their faces, just like the peace deal. I actually saw a clip here. I got to show you guys this clip, right? Because there is this lady, Alyssa Griffin, I think that's her name, Alyssa Griffin, who, again, is one of those fake Republicans on The View who, again, is legitimately anti-Trump all the way. This is where the Democrats and this is where the anti-Trumpers, never Trumpers are at today. This is a video that's haunting them. This is a video that's haunting everybody at this point, knowing that the peace deal that was just achieved was one of the biggest things that the Democrats have been pushing for literally this whole time. One of the main reasons they were protesting out in college campuses, one of the main reasons they were protesting as a whole. And so now you have Alyssa Farah Griffith, I think is Alyssa. Let's go with Alyssa from The View. You guys know her face. You guys seen her face before. Everybody is sending her this video because tomorrow on The View, they want to see this.
My point when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, it's not changing a tune. It's not making every single thing a 5-alarm fire. Yeah. If he does good, if he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you for doing it. Yeah. And I know she'll knock it right off my head. But like you have to be able to cheer for wins when they happen and then call out relentlessly the wrongdoing.
Well, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Will we see it? Will we get it? I mean, again, you want to keep the government shut down because you want to win back your voter base. You want to get back your poll numbers. You want to get back to be in the face of the Democrat Party if you're Chuck Schumer. But this is what Democrats are facing. They made it seem like this was the impossible thing to do, that freeing the hostages and all these accomplishments that Trump has been getting are legitimately something that they thought that was impossible. So now you get it done. And yet still the government is shut down. Yet these people still don't want to work together. It's pretty crazy. Here's Trump speaking about the programs that are going to be ending and how he thinks that they're making a huge mistake on the other side.
What's harder, peace in the Middle East or ending a government shutdown?
Well, I think the hardest is this. This has been going on for 3,000 years. The shutdown's only been for 10 days. So I think the shutdown, it's gotten to be almost customary, but we're taking care of it. We've got the military paid in full, and we're doing a lot of things. We're ending some programs that we don't want. They happen to be Democrat sponsored programs, but we're ending some programs that we never wanted, and we're probably not going to allow them to come back. I think they made a mistake. I think they made a big mistake. This is really a Schumer shutdown because he's become sort of irrelevant, and he wants to make himself relevant.
Literally, Chuck Schumer, one guy, is responsible for all of this. That's what Trump is saying here. One guy who wants to be relevant again is legitimately just putting everybody's lives on a threshold here, on the fact that they might just have to show up for work for free. But again, to Trump's point is, hey, look, we don't want it to happen, but if it happens, we won't be that mad because these are a lot of the things that we wanted to get rid of anyways. So it's a big conversation to have, but this protest and this march, it's supposed to be a huge march, and the Democrats are getting ready for it, and we're going to be keeping an eye on that. That's going to be something that we keep track on the show, because it can go many different ways. That can be the start of something very, very bad, and something bad can happen there as well, because these people are unhinged at this point. Everybody's become unhinged. But I was hoping that this peace deal can maybe bring a lot of people that even hate Trump back down to earth a little bit. Come down to earth. Join this universe for a few days and take the W while you can, because at the end of the day, this was a huge, huge accomplishment, in my opinion, to have the hostages come home, the 20 remaining ones, and then have a huge peace deal that could not have been done in 4 years. Well, since the war began. Or throughout thousands of years at this point, if there can be peace, that would be a huge W. That's something that I definitely voted for. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think down below.